Good morning, students. As a part of your home learning, this is our second class. As in previous class, we have studied circular flow of income between the phases of economy, in which three phases were there. Do you remember those three phases? Yes. Those were production phase, then distribution phase, then disposition phase. Now today we'll learn that how the income flows between the sectors of economy. Our study is limited to only two sectors, and one of them is households. Generally, it is considered, or it is an assumption, that households are the owner of factor services. Then factor services, these are land, labor, capital. So households are the owner of these factor services. And then second sector is firms. So the firms are the converter of, or they convert factor services into final goods and services, and those goods and services are consumed by the households. Now let us see this circular flow. See, first we say that households are providing factor services to the firms. See, land, labor, capital. These are collectively known as factor services. So they are providing factor services to the firms. Now, when households are providing these factor services to the firms, firms also provide something to the households, that is goods and services. Firm will take factor services from households and it will convert those factor services into the goods and services, and these goods and services will be consumed by the households. So this entire flow, the outer circle that you are seeing, that is known as real flow, in which only real goods and services are being transformed from one sector to another sector. Okay. Along with this real flow, one another flow also takes place, that is flow of money. When households are providing factor services to the firms, firms pay factor payments to the households, that is rent for the land, wages for the labor, and interest for the capital. So when they are providing something which is real, which we can see, touch, then against this firms provide them the payment in form of money, that is rent, wages, and interest. Now when firms are providing money in form of rent, wages, and interest to the households, so households will also provide some money to the firms in form of consumption expenditure. Usually the households have consumed goods and services, so against the consumption of goods and services they are providing money to the firms, that is known as consumption expenditure, or we can say spending on the consumption. Dear students, you are able to see here 4 arrows are there, in which real flow is written and money flow is written. Now what does it mean? When we say about real flow is the flow of something which is useful to us, not only the things which we can see or touch. Services we usually are not able to see. So the real is something which is useful to the humankind, or which is useful to us. Now see, here we talk about land. Land we also use in many forms. We cultivate the land and we grow the crops. Labor is also employed on the land for the production. Capital, it is a type of investment which we do in the land and labor. Similarly, when these are converted into goods and services are consumed us by directly as a household. So this entire outer circle is showing the flow of real things which are useful to the humans, or which are useful to us. Now, when this real flow takes place, there is something which is given, or which is paid against this real flow, that is the flow of money. Money flow is nothing without the real flow. If suppose there are no factor services and goods and services, then the money flow will not take place. So the presence of money flow depends on the presence of real flow only. Money flow is not more than the flow of cash, the flow of money in any form between these two sectors, that is households and firms. Our first chapter of macroeconomics concludes here. It was a very small chapter, and now you'll be able to find some notes and some important question and answers that you should write down in your notebook. And if you have any confusion related to this topic, this entire chapter, you should send your doubts, queries to this group or to me also personally. Thank you.